Today, we are diving into a really powerful ancient spiritual technology. It's called Koach HaNiflaot, which translates to the power of wonders. And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's a super practical guide for actively bringing real blessings and stability into your daily life.
So let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like you're in control of your life? Or does it sometimes feel like you're just along for the ride? You know, in a world that feels so chaotic and unpredictable, I think we're all looking for some sense of stability, of meaning, a feeling that we actually have a say in how things turn out. We're looking for what you might even call miracles. But what if we've been looking in all the wrong places? And this is the huge shift in perspective we're digging into today. The idea that real, genuine power, the ability to actually shape our reality, doesn't come from forcing things on the outside, but from a radical transformation on the inside. Okay, let's get specific. What exactly is Koach HaNiflaot? Well, it's not about wishful thinking or just hoping for the best. It's a system, a framework. It suggests that through consistent, focused spiritual disciplines, you can literally create a cause and effect relationship between your inner world and your outer world.
Now this right here, this is the engine that makes the whole thing run. It's a concept called hakshasha, or self-negation. See, the wonder or the miracle isn't some lightning bolt from the sky. The real wonder is the internal act of saying, you know what, this isn't about me. It's the disciplined practice of setting your own ego aside so you can become a clear, open channel for blessings to flow through you.
So the big question is, how do we actually put this into practice? Well, the framework is built on 3 foundational pillars. Think of it like a complete blueprint that guides us all the way from internal prep work to seeing it show up in the real world.
It's a 3-step process, really. First, you have to prepare yourself by cultivating your inner vessel. Then, you actively manage your work and your livelihood, what the text calls stewarding the field. And finally, you take specific steps to secure and maintain that flow of blessings. Let's break down each one.
All right, let's start with Pillar 1, cultivating the vessel. This is ground zero. It's all about the inner work. Because think about it, before you can receive anything, you have to prepare the container, and that container is you. This pillar is really built on 3 daily disciplines. First, we have that core principle, hakshasha, which we practice as radical humility, just consciously getting our ego out of the way. Second is the power of thought, which means you have to be vigilant, guarding your mind from negativity, because that's where destructive influences find a way in. And third is repentance, or teshuvah. And this isn't about feeling guilty. It's about seeing every mistake as a powerful chance to immediately get back into alignment. And this quote just brilliantly drives home the whole point of Pillar 1. The source text is crystal clear on this. For our efforts to even be heard, we first have to make ourselves completely humble like dust. It's not just a nice suggestion, it's the absolute prerequisite for everything else that follows. Okay, so let's move on to Pillar 2 and see how all this inner work starts to build outward. Once the vessel is ready, our focus shifts from our internal state to the external world, our work, our livelihood. This is all about actively taking care of what the mystics call the field. So what is this field? It's not just your 9-to-5 job. The field is the spiritual source of your sustenance. Your financial stability, your paycheck, that's just the fruit that grows from it. And the foundation, the very soil of that entire field? The Sabbath. It sanctifies time and gives the whole week its structure. So to properly steward this field, we've got 3 key actions. First, we anchor our work in spiritual learning, like Torah study. Why? Because the source text calls it an antidote to the stuff that sabotages our success. Second, we sanctify our time through the Sabbath. And third, we perform what are called wondrous investments through charity. This completely reframes giving. It's not a loss, it's a powerful tool for both spiritual and material growth. I just love this metaphor. The text says the Torah study is like an antidote or a spice. It's that key ingredient that actively protects our livelihood from the negative inclinations that are always trying to undermine us. It's like a spiritual shield. And right here, we see the incredible power of charity. The promise is so direct. Investing in others doesn't diminish you. Instead, it creates this amazing cycle where you find not only life and honor, but even more capacity for charity. It's a truly wondrous investment. So, we've prepared ourselves and we've tended our field. Now for the crucial final step, locking in the results.
Pillar 3 is all about making sure the blessings we receive are stable, that they last. This final pillar has 3 actions to secure the flow. First, praying with real intentional focus to keep that connection strong. Second, and this is so important, sealing our blessings with gratitude. It literally solidifies them. And finally, cultivating spiritual sight. The ability to see the divine hand at work in everything, which just reinforces the entire cycle.
This is such a powerful statement from the source. Gratitude isn't just a polite thank you at the end. It is an essential, non-negotiable part of the system. Without it, the field itself is considered incomplete. Gratitude is the seal that makes the whole structure solid.
So let's bring this all together. What does living a life of wonders actually look like when you put it all into practice?
It really boils down to this profound, continuous cycle. First, you empty your personal vessel through humility. Next, you tend your professional and financial field by grounding it in these key spiritual principles. And finally, you seal that flow of abundance with focused prayer and deep, genuine gratitude. It's this dynamic process that you are actively part of, day in and day out.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The power of wonders, the miracle, it's not something that just happens to you. It's something you initiate within you. It's the internal act of self-transformation. So the only real question left is, what will you choose to transform today?